CMI is your full-service human resources provider in Central Kentucky. For 15 years, CMI Human Resources has taken great pride in helping organizations and people work. Whether it's employee handbooks or help in filling a position, no job is too large or too small for CMI. Contact the professionals today at CMI Human Resources, 859-296-2800, or online at cmiconsulting.com.
Welcome to Hope is Here. My name is Greg Horn. Glad that you have tuned in today, and really excited about the guest that we have today. It's a young man that I've been following the past 3 years. I'm the voice of Georgetown College football on the radio and do the Georgetown football coaches show. And the young man I'm going to have today with me is Kody Kasey. And Kody's got a great story. It's going to be a powerful story. And he had something major that happened in his life a couple of years ago where he could have chosen what Joyce Meyer says, either to become bitter or better. And I'm so thankful, and you're going to find out today he definitely chose better. So first of all, Kody, thanks for being here, man.
Oh, thanks for having me, Greg. Really appreciate the opportunity.
Well, you're welcome, and I've heard your story, and but yet I can't wait for the folks with our Hope is Here audience to hear that. And but I always like to get a little background from people because it's always interesting to find out where people are from. Are you a Kentucky guy?
I'm actually not. I'm originally from Columbus, Ohio, a little town, suburb of Columbus called Pickerington, and yeah, that's where I grew up. So.
Okay, all right, well, cool. I'm familiar with that. I've been to Columbus a few times, seen the sign there for Pickerington. Growing up, obviously you played college football at Georgetown, but did you play any other sports when you were growing up in Ohio?
Yeah, I over my life I've played football. I've ran track, and I've also wrestled a little bit. Football, of course, is my first love, and that was my main focus. But track also, I was a 4-year letterman in track, and man, track is tough. We have a tough program at Pickerington North High School is where I went. And they're a very tough program, so don't like running, but I like competing.
Okay.
And I also wrestled for like a year, but it was in like 8th grade. And I just like to compete. Like it's in my passion. It's in my heart to compete. So.
Okay. Well, when you say track, I mean which specific events on the track field, track team did you participate in?
Yeah. So I did hurdles. Like I'm a short guy, so like not a lot of people would think I do hurdles, but I actually did hurdles. 300 hurdles was like my main event. Was my least favorite, but it was my main event. And I also did relays as well. So our track team went to the States, and we came up short my senior year. So yeah.
That's tough. All right, but track, I've learned that from doing your all's radio for Georgetown College football over the past 3 years that a lot of athletes in football are multi-sport athletes. Maybe it's track or basketball or baseball or something. But did you find that the track helped you with conditioning and just other things with football? Did it complement football?
Oh, definitely. I mean, track just pushes you to finish through. We always practice finishing through the line and like trying to keep your form as much as possible. Getting to the line is one thing, but finishing through the line is another. So, especially with endurance, track, at high school we just constantly pounded the reps and really focused on finishing through the line. So. That also went into football. I mean, at Georgetown, we're really hard on discipline, and we go through the line, like I said, as well, and it really kind of carried over.
All right, well, cool. It's always great to see that correlation, and also seeing guys that play in the NFL. 90% of them were two-sport athletes in high school, so I can understand why you also were a two-sport athlete. Well, growing up, what about spiritually? Did you go to church any as a kid? What was your family situation like as far as faith, and what did you have faith as a kid? Tell us about your background in faith growing up.
Yeah, so growing up, I grew up in a religious Catholic family. I'm half Filipino, and in the Philippines, Catholicism is really huge. And we went to church every Sunday, and I did Sunday school and everything. We even had these little prayer groups with little Filipino groups that I would lead with my mom, and it was like a get together. We had prayer and then food, so I was around it all the time. But a lot of times as kids, we're around it, but we don't really like know what's going on, and So, like, I thought I had just because I was going to church and everything, like, oh, I'm good, you know?
Right.
But I didn't really have, like, a true relationship with Jesus. And, you know, that was missing in my life. But, you know, as a kid, sometimes you don't even understand that. And it takes some time in your life before you can really understand. So that's about how it was growing up.
That sounds pretty normal for, you know, I mean, some people have no background at all, but I can relate to that. You know, I went to the Baptist church, but, you know, I probably knew just enough to be dangerous. And, yeah, I was there all the time. I'm thankful my mom did plant those seeds because it definitely comes in handy when the storms of life do happen. Yes, but, all right, so you obviously, you know, you wound up playing football at Georgetown College, but when you're in high school, when did you realize, you know, man, I might be good enough possibly to play at college? Was that your junior year, senior year, sophomore? When did you start realizing that you might have a chance to play college football?
We see, it was like always a dream to play college football, and my whole life I was, you know, looked at as small. So it was kind of a challenge, and you know, I even went to the lengths of getting these profiles just to in order to, you know, get coaches to see me and everything. And you know, I was a little dude, and just trying to get to college alone was a big struggle. I just have like, you know, a tenacity in me that what coaches always say, like, no matter how small I am, I'm still gonna go attack. And I just had a heart for the game, so I let my heart play a lot more sometimes, and overlook the physical stuff. So I was never like I never like really feared anybody on the field. I just attacked, and you know, eventually some coaches did start to see that. Sometimes they overlook the physical capabilities, and you know, sometimes they look at like just who the guy is and how they actually play regardless of their size. And I was fortunate enough to land a scholarship with Georgetown College, and you know, it was signing day, and I wasn't even expecting to sign. And then like they called me that day, were like, hey, we want to offer you this. And it was like an offer that my coach was right next to me. He was like, if you don't take this, you're stupid. I was like,
no brainer, huh? You better do
Coach,
this.
You're right. And I was like, man, this is a perfect opportunity, you know, go to a Georgetown College. It's a great winning program, and also, you know, their graduation rate is very high, job placement rate is very high. Not only set me up for playing on a good football team, but, you know, for the rest of my life. So I was very grateful to be able to attend Georgetown College.
Wow, but you said that actual offer did not come till signing day, though. Yeah. So, man, that's a serious, like, I mean, you know, signing day's coming up. Was there any other offers, or is this the place you wanted to go? Or, I mean, was there anything else that you had to fall back upon if that didn't happen? Or did you know possibly the Georgetown would offer? Just help walk us through that. What was going on in your mind and heart that day?
Yeah, so they were already interested, and they were they had like offered already, and I was in my mindset. I was like, hey, maybe I can try to, you know, go a little bigger. You know, everybody has that mindset, like, oh, if I have a chance to go D1, I'm gonna take it. Which, I mean, you can't get mad at that. But also I had to look at it like the people that were waiting for me. You know, it was like one of those deals that, listen, we're waiting on a guy, and if he doesn't take the offer, then we're gonna offer you. But like, it seemed like every case where that happened, the person they were waiting on took the offer. Okay. So then I was like, maybe I'll just wait a little longer. And then, like I said, on signing day, you know, I was just getting ready. I was happy for my friends. They were signing, and then my coach called me in the office. He was like, hey, Georgetown wants to talk to you. And they kept offering. I was like, man, this is crazy. And then I was like, let me talk to my dad. And then, like, before I could even, you know, get on the phone with my dad, they called again. They're like, okay, we're going to offer you this. And I was like, okay, let me talk. And then they called a third time, and they were like, we're going to offer you this. And I was just like, wow, this is crazy. And then that's when my coach was like, if you don't take this, you're stupid. And then that's when I had to look at it like, hey, you know, I'd rather go to, you know, maybe a smaller program, but they have a culture of winning, and they have, you know,
Absolutely.
Good standards. And
it's a great academic school.
Good values, yes, sir. Rather than, you know, just go to a D1 school, say I played at D1 but, you know, really didn't play, or I walked on there, you know.
Right.
I had to look at it in that way, and then also just like what would set me up best in the future. And I was just like, this is a blessing right here. This is the opportunity, so I'm going to take advantage of it.
Well, and God had to make it obvious, it sounds like. I mean, not one phone call, not two, but 3 phone calls. And,
yes,
you know, sometimes I have to have my attention grabbed 3 times like that. So maybe that's encouraging to some of you. You've been praying for God to give you an answer, and Kody, like a lot of kids, wanted to play Division I, but that just wasn't quite happening, and not a lot of big Filipino athletes to follow in Division I college football, is there?
I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's not real common. We'll talk to our football expert, our producer, Brad Taylor. He can fill us in on the amount of Filipinos in that. But the cool thing about it is that God opened the door where he wanted you to go. You went. So talk about what it was like to transition from high school to playing football at Georgetown College.
Well, yeah, definitely more fast-paced. Everybody from high school comes in and, they were like the man at their high school. But then when you come into college, it's like everybody was the man at their high school. So you come into college and you have like great competition and, the physicality level, of course, like you got to step it up. I'll never forget my very first workout with Coach Housekeeper. When the freshmen came in and did our workout, man, that was the hardest workout I ever did in my life. We came back to the dorm, we were just dead. And, just even practice, it was very up tempo and everything, so you had to be ready, and if you weren't ready, they were gonna get you there.
You were gonna get exposed, weren't you?
Yes, you were gonna get exposed.
and the difference, obviously, in high school, with the gifts physically that you had, being really fast, and just being a little bit better than the other guys, you can kind of take a playoff here and there. But in college, you can't do that, can you?
I mean, like I said, everybody's the man from their school, and I wasn't even the man from my school, but I just know that there's a lot of competition, so I took the mindset going in like, I'm not going to act like I'm better than everybody. I'm just going to, compete as hard as I can, make it a goal to, make sure the coaches know exactly how I play and what I can bring, and just do my best in everything.
Well, most freshmen don't get to play at a great program like Georgetown their freshman year. Did you get to play any as a freshman?
Yes, about halfway through the season, I actually ended up starting. And I made it a goal to get some playing time, and then I was fortunate enough to earn a starting spot my freshman year, and that's when I found out, like, man, I really gotta, you gotta wrap up in college.
Yeah.
Because I thought the very first tackle I had, I thought I about broke my tooth. We were playing the University of Cumberland, and they had this really good quarterback, and he broke up the middle, and I tried to go hit his legs. I'm a leg tackler, I mean, a lot of people get mad about it, but I'm like, hey, it gets the job done, and it's a short tackle. But I hit his leg, and I thought I about broke my tooth. I was like, man, so this is what college is like.
Welcome to college football, huh?
Yes, sir.
So what position did you wind up starting at your freshman year?
Cornerback.
Yes, okay, sir. Wow, there's a lot of action there at the cornerback. So, all right, so freshman year, you wind up starting the last half of the year. You get through that, and obviously, I mean, it's big athletically, but, I mean, on top of that, man, you got academics. I mean, there's a lot going on for you as a freshman, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Georgetown College is no joke when it comes to academics, so you can't really slack off or you'll get behind. So, it not only does Georgetown push you in athletics, they really push you to do the best you can in academics. So, I really learned a lot. There's some classes where I was just like, man, this is like, I'm never gonna use Aristotle or all this Greek stuff. But like, it's crazy because throughout the whole course of my stay at Georgetown, those things that I learned like freshman year in like foundations class would even come up, and I'm like, wow. Like, I actually do know some of this stuff. But, yeah, they really set you up. It's a liberal arts college, so they give you a wide variety of, general ed. But it, like, opens your eyes to, like, new things, brings upon new opportunities to possibly study.
Absolutely. Well, we're talking with Kody Kasey. He is a football player at Georgetown College, and we've heard his story about how he got to Georgetown College. How tall are you, Kody?
5'8".
Okay, well, I'm that height, so I think you're tall personally, but for college football, obviously, that's not real big. But he winded up starting the last half of his freshman year. His sophomore year started out great, but then all of a sudden, tragedy happened. So stay with us tomorrow as we're going to find out Kody's story on Hope is Here.